everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. I greatly appreciate that. So let me start out by saying when I first started this channel over 2 years ago, the title of my channel is Check It Out with Michelle, which leaves it completely open. And normally I do rebate shopping or how to get your groceries, toiletries, everyday items for free or as close to free as we can get. But over the years, I've had a lot of questions about everything that you see behind me. I do have a small quilt shop, and I've got a lot of questions and comments and just people asking over the years, are you ever going to do any quilting videos, that kind of stuff. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure how this is going to go. So I've really struggled with the format and how to lay things out. I'm so used to the kind of deals and videos that I normally do. So this is completely new for me. So just bear with me. I'm going to try my best to start adding some quilting content. I have no idea what I'm going to do each week. I would rather leave it as unstructured as possible. I'm not making a separate channel right now, but I will put all of the quilting and fabric, that kind of stuff, all those kind of videos on a separate playlist. So if this is something that you are not interested in at all, then you don't have to watch, but I think a lot of people would like to. So here's going to be my first little short video. I have been quilting for many, many years. My mom got me started. She used to try to talk me into quilting, and my excuse was always that I'm not crafty. That was just lame adult talk for I don't really want to. But then one year I went to a local quilt show with her, and when we walked in the door, we got all these little tickets for door prizes. By the time we left that day, I had won a cutting mat, a rotary cutter, some rulers. Pretty much by the time I left, I had all the tools I needed to get started. So I guess that was a sign from above. Look, this is what you need to do. So I got myself some fabric, jumped right in, and I have been in love with it ever since. And now that's what I do full time. So over the weekend, I've been working on a lot of t-shirt quilts lately. I do a ton of those for customers. And whether you're a new quilter or a seasoned quilter, you know that as you quilt and make things, you're going to get a lot of scraps. Now, granted, when I first started, I didn't know about all of that stuff. So what did I do with all of my scraps? I threw them away. So by the time I finally decided I wanted to do a scrappy project, guess what? I didn't have any scraps. Nobody wants to cut up complete pieces and yardage just to make scraps. It kind of defeats the purpose. So over the weekend, I remembered that I have a huge tote down under my long arm, which I mainly use for storage. It is full of all kinds of scraps. I had a bag inside the house in my sewing room, and I had another bag out here on a shelf. So I went through all of those scraps and divided them up because I've seen some really, really cool projects lately that you make using scraps. So this is kind of the process that I use to go through those scraps. There is no right or wrong way, and mainly the reason I've done it this way is because I have those projects in mind that I want to work on, which is basically making new fabric out of scraps, which I think is awesome. So I even went through some of the things that I had just recently thrown away in completely clean trash can, nothing but fabric and batting scraps, that kind of stuff. I even dug those out and put those into these collections. So this is what I divided everything up into. I have one little container that is all thread. I do a lot of long arming for people, and a lot of times you'll get down to the end of a bobbin and there's just a little bit left, but you need it for another color. So I will just take and roll that off. I mean, look at all these fun colors. I've got blue, green, red, yellow, and also from the regular sewing machine, not just the long arm. So I know my thread collection in here right now is kind of small, but it will grow very, very quickly. And then my next little collection is what they call strings. And I chose to put all these little teeny tiny pieces in there. Basically, if it's less than like an inch wide, then they go in this basket. And as I look through these, I can remember all the projects that I did making these little scraps. So, I mean, there's some selvage edges in there, just all kinds of neat little scraps. And I have an entire basket full just from over the weekend. The next basket is binding strips. This is not really for my making fabric project, but you know, it takes a lot of time to make binding, and there's no sense in throwing it away. I think I'm going to probably make some kind of scrappy project, and then I'll probably sew these binding strips together and bind that scrappy project with it. I mean, I have a whole basket full. The next size that I picked was if it is less than 3 inches, then it went into this tote. And just to give you an idea of how many, I mean, look at that. This is a, let's see, 40 quart little tote, and it is completely full of scraps. If they're less than 3 inches in width, then they went in here. And I have another tote that I didn't pick up because it is humongous, and it's full of everything that's larger than 3 inches. Things that I could actually cut really big pieces out of. So those may go for a different project, but the first little projects that I want to work on are going to be using these strings. I will be using, well, threads, excuse me. I will be using these strings, and I will be using these little pieces that are less than 3 inches. I mean, there's some seriously cute stuff in there. I mean, little puppy dogs. Here's some flowers. There's even some Christmas stuff. Anything and everything you can think of are in those totes. So let me know down in the comments if you would like to see the progress or mainly the process of doing these little scrap projects. And it also uses this, which I didn't even get in the mail until yesterday. I will be using tulle, and I chose to get this off-white color because the projects that I've seen using that, it gives it a completely different look. So let me know if you think you may like this kind of comment or content, excuse me, and let me know if you want to kind of follow along on this little project that I work on. But thank you all for taking the time to watch this little video, and look forward to making some more really soon. Thanks everybody. Bye.